Hi, I'm Ryan Malyar. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Marlborough Minute. Labor Day is almost upon us, and with Labor Day comes a fantastic festival that the Marlborough community has come to expect year after year, and I'm talking about the Greek Festival. And I have two Jims here that are going to tell me all about the Greek Festival and what we can expect this year. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Jim Peltekis, and
I'm Jim Polechronis.
Jim Polechronis, a Marlborough guy for years, fire department career, knows everybody in Marlborough, and he should be the official greeter at the festival with everybody that comes in.
Is that what you've already been regulated to? Are you a greeter, or are you doing something else?
No,
I'm a
this
doer.
guy works.
You're a doer.
He's a worker.
Yeah. I'm all over the place. Kind of like a field general, I guess you would say. I do everything from supporting the people at the bar stations to field general. I'll be
Crowd management. The
crowd
lines get
management.
crazy around the building. Everyone
picking
wants
up
to get in.
trash.
Keeping it
I
organized.
I just try and do what needs to be done, keep things organized, keep the workers supplied with what they need.
Let's talk about this festival. How long has the church been doing this? And what church is it?
Well, St. Anargyroi Greek Orthodox Church. I'll give you a very, very quick synopsis. His father, Perry Polechronis, another guy that knew everybody in Marlborough, great guy. He grabs me and wants me to be president of the church. I cannot do this with my schedule and everything else. And he talks me into it. The good thing is, made him vice president.
Uh-huh.
I'm working 80 hours a week. I'm traveling and all sorts of things. And we would talk about things, but Jimmy's the guy who was able to get them done and carry through on everything.
And I think you told me there was another town that was doing a Greek festival maybe, and you said, well, they've got it. They've got people coming. Why aren't we doing it?
Well,
Is that right? Is that the right story?
long story. Just before festival,
Short, yeah.
we had a priest, Father Peter Chrysovidis. And the Greek church is kind of set aside a little bit from regular everyday life in America. We came from, background that's very, very different. Father Peter shows up, and I'm going to tell you the Greek grapevine. These old ladies are going on about, did you see the priest? No collar. He had shorts on one day. He was out running. He took us from like the dark ages into modern world. At the time, we were 3 Greeks on the city council. He's now involved doing prayers before meetings and all of these things. And then Father Peter got transferred out. And I'm the president going through this. And Father Harry Providakis, who was originally a boy from Worcester, is taken over. I take him for dinner before his family got here. And at a great restaurant, used to be across the street, and we get to, well, what do you do about a festival? My words were, what's a festival? I had no idea what he was talking about. And they were not big around here. In fact, we're one of the oldest ones. We've been around 40 some odd years. So that's how it got started. And I'm talking to the ladies club. No, we don't want anything to do with this. We had a little tiny kitchen. We didn't have a facility or anything for it. And they put on the first festival. That lasted about 20 minutes, and they were sold out everything. And it was only to our own church. It wasn't even open up to the public. And the next year, the mayor, Joe Ferrecchia, put together about a 10-day program in the city, and he wanted us to be at the end of that. We had block parties, we had gambling nights, we had all kinds of things. Many civic organizations, many churches all participated. He had a newspaper that described everything that went on, and that was the beginning of our festival.
I think what you're referring to also is St. Spiridon's Greek Orthodox Church in Worcester.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, they did probably the first one in this Central Mass area in the late 70s. And a lot of us actually, we're both married to former Worcester girls. So we had connections, with Worcester and the church, but they're a much, much larger community.
Sure.
They're probably about 3 times the size of our community. They did do one of, probably like I said, the first ones in this area. And we were kind of like the little brother to that community, and we can do, like Jim said, we rolled up our sleeves and we says, we can do that. And we did do in conjunction with city events that were going on. We did do what we called like a mini festival, but it was, like for our community and the number of people that we had to do the on-hands work, it worked and it was successful. And quite honestly, the community, the city of Marlborough supported it with open arms. And I think to this day, our Greek festival is fully supported by the city and the surrounding communities. I think we have more participation from non-Greeks. I mean, I know a lot of the other churches. There's plenty of Greek churches in the Boston area, but they all like to go to the, there's probably more Greeks there than not. I think the case is a little bit different here. If it wasn't for the community, I don't think that our festival.
Well, if nobody shows up, there's no festival to be had.
I know, but you know what? Everybody.
And last year, it was packed when I went last year. It's a great turnout. Who can tell me about all of the different offerings that we have? I mean, we have fantastic food. Give me some of the juicy details about all the things folks can expect.
Well, I guess that's probably the one thing that people look forward to is the food. Probably the more common, the sweets is the baklava. Everybody is familiar with baklava.
I think they were doing baklava sundaes or something last year.
Yeah.
And they were going like crazy. They looked delicious.
Well, we found a way that we could make use of, when you're cutting it up and you end up with all the crumbs and everything there, you just chop it up and you sprinkle it over some vanilla ice cream. And
well, who can answer this age-old question? Gyro or euro? This is your bill.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about euro.
I'm going to give you the simple answer.
What?
The Greek will say euro.
Euro.
It's a rounded out G. It's a euro. You get that G rolling right into the Y.
Mm-hmm.
The average American will say, I mean, there's even some Americanized Greeks that will give it the old gyro. But I don't know what kind of a story Jim has.
I don't know either.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about gyro. I started making gyros in Greece in 1970.
Well, you're calling them gyros.
Well, because that's the way the American people know them. But yes, gyro, and gyro just means round.
Oh.
But they used to use vertical spits and use actual pieces of meat on top of each other, spiced and cooked, etc. But as it got here, it became gyro, and it's become very popular street food everywhere. And what I'm really happy about this year, we actually are changing the gyros that we have. We have 3 vertical gyro
cones
to cook them. So they turn vertical spits and they cut from the outside all the time and collect it all, and that's how we make the sandwich. And it really is going to be a big step up from what we used to do with the gyro and kind of cook it on a grill. And then
it was delicious last year. So
it's going to be way better.
And what's the sauce that comes with it?
That's the next thing, tzatziki.
Tzatziki.
Okay, you go to a commercial restaurant for tzatziki, they pretty much
serve you... It's a white sauce,
you,
right?
Yeah, commercial restaurant, they're serving you like wallpaper paste. Ours made fresh every day from yogurt, cucumbers, dill, garlic. It's all cut, made fresh.
It adds that freshness to it.
Yes,
that's what makes the sandwich.
It's a perfect balance.
Yeah. So we're very excited about that. This is the
and whether you call it a gyro or a euro, they're still going to sell it to you either way, and you're still going to love it. It's amazing. Yeah. We also have lamb. We have so many things.
Our 2 wives, not to leave them out,
They're
in charge of all the cooking. We had a woman that was very involved with the school system, knew how to make things in big amounts, and passed that down to my wife Betty and Donna. And they in charge of pretty much all the food. I mean, they're cooking all through the month of August, getting ready for this weekend. And I'm going to tell you, if it wasn't for these 2 girls, we got to find some new people that are ready to step up and start doing this because we are getting older.
Betty pretty much takes care of a lot of the pasticcio and some of the pastries that they're baking. My wife kind of manages all the pastries and getting them packaged and priced and organized downstairs. I mean, I know Betty right now. I just drove by the church and Betty's car is there. I think right now she's making
Finikia.
the honey sauce
Yeah.
that goes over
Yeah.
a Greek cookie called
Oh, I'm
finikia,
drooling over here. Come
and
on.
pours the honey over, drizzles it over. It absorbs into the cookie. It's and like Jim says, they keep looking. It was one thing that my dad always said. My father was very involved in the church many, many years. And he would always say, I keep looking over my shoulder. There's nobody there. And I used to say, oh my God, we're becoming our parents. And he says, now we have become our parents. And now I say the same thing. I keep looking over my shoulder. There's no one there. And like Jim says, we're in our 70s. I mean, I know we were both involved with the church from birth. I've been a member of this community all my life. I'm a lifer here, as I say sometimes, and very involved. But, it is a lot of work, and we do get a lot of the parishioners get involved, and this is where you see it all come together with, there's over 350 time slots that we need to fill from people volunteering to, put this together.
Because it runs over 3 days. It starts Friday
night,
August 30th.
Yeah.
And that's from 5 to 11. So that's a slightly shorter day for you.
Yes.
And then we have Saturday, August 31st, 12 noon, all the way to 11 p.m. And same thing for Sunday, September 1st.
Yes.
So those are long days, but they're full of activity too.
Oh, yes.
We have entertainment as well, dancing, right?
Yes, we have dancing on Saturday and Friday night. We'll have a live Greek band from 5 to 10. And in the courtyard there is where they're set up, and they'll play the music, and you'll see the dancing going on there. Saturday and Sunday, we have the same thing that will go on. Saturday and Sunday, we have ethnic dancers that come in. We have a group that comes in from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And these are youths, probably high school age to college age. And then we also have another group which is led from one of our parishioners, Irene Savis, who has been doing this for many years. And she has a group of trained dancers that will come in, and they'll do the ethnic dances from all the different regions of Greece. There's a little bit of different culture from different areas of the country, and they all have their own little
different flair,
different flares.
Different movements.
Even their costumes will vary from the region of Greece that they come from.
You're able to drink a little bit too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just a little.
Well,
what are some of the typical Greek beverages that we might be experiencing?
We feature 2 Greek beers.
Okay.
One is Mythos, and the other one is Fix, which...
How do you describe them? Are they lighter, like a lager?
They're more of a lager, yes.
Yeah.
The Fix has a little bit more amber color to it, I think. But I think Fix is probably one of the oldest Greek beers that I never really realized that. Being able to visit the motherland, I was able to experience it, and it became popular over here. So we were able to... Mythos was always probably like one of the #1 Greek beers that we would serve here. And then, of course, we have our ouzo and
That's right.
metaxa, which is a brandy. And we feature Greek wines also. So everything is very ethnic.
But also very welcoming.
Very much
I'm
so.
not Greek, but you're able to just go in and be absorbed with this fantastic energy of the congregation of the church and all the volunteers.
Yeah.
There's so many food options. If you just want to hightail it straight to get a gyro, you can go right over to that tent. or you can make your way, it's through the lower hall of the church, and they just have tables and tables and tables and tables of food.
However, I do have to add the fact that, we talk about the gyro being so popular. We have become known for our lamb shank dinner.
Mm-hmm.
The lamb shank dinner, I think this year we're probably going to order over 900. It's every year we have to keep and the people have been so generous and so understanding, because it's the shank dinner, the longer it cooks, the better it is. And sometimes you can't
is it like
keep it.
Is it a low and slow situation?
That's a 6-hour cook, yeah.
Oh,
and sometimes you can't keep it, in the warmer, because so many people are ordering it, and then so we're out of the shanks, and we're out of the shanks. And so every year we increase the number. We've probably gone, I don't know, I think we started maybe, it was always the lamb kebabs, the old shish kebab, and the chicken kebabs. That was the mainstay. And then a gentleman by Mr. Demos used to take some of the cutoffs of the lamb, and he made this lamb shank. He started almost like a stew, but then we graduated into doing it the real shank, and we get the full shank itself and cook it right on the bone. And to this day, I mean, I think Nick Kotsianis, who's one of the chief cooks, has an amazing recipe. Many restaurants try and complement what we do there in their restaurants, but I think you'll find out from a lot of people that they're there for the lamb shank dinner.
Sure.
Nick has a big restaurant down in
Mendon.
Actually, yeah, Mendon. Actually, he moved from the original one that I knew. But I want to say we've had so much support. We didn't realize how much this was getting, how big it was getting. And a couple of years ago, myself and one of the girls that runs all the computer and everything, kept track of all things. We figured out that we had probably 8,000 people through the 3-day festival. That to me is a number we never even would have thought of back years ago. And last year got really bad. The lines got long. And somebody shouldn't have to wait. I mean, these people, they come to support us, but they need to be respected and taken care of. They're our customers that are making this successful for us. So we've added a second cashier this year, which hopefully will cut the wait time in half.
Mm-hmm.
And, the tent down the middle of Central Street, the original festival, that was all we had, was a big tent down the middle of Central Street.
Oh, really?
Now with the church after the fire, and we lost a couple of years festival due to the fire. And I will remark, the city of Marlborough was so helpful to our community. They threw a fundraiser at the Holiday Inn to help us get back on our feet. Unasked for, everything else, but these people have been terrific. The support we have every year. Then, of course, we lost a year with the COVID too. But
this festival has
we've
grown
been just
too,
welcomed
with the help of the city. But going back, I'll mention another gentleman, John Gaggis. We went from when we decided that, all right, from the small kitchen that we had, and then after the fire, and we lost the church, and there was like 2 years. John owned Family House of Pizza. And once we got back into the church, we realized that we got to continue with our festival. John would close Labor Day weekend. They used to do the cooking down at his store on Maple Street, and we used to shuttle the food because we had no kitchen. We had no social hall, no kitchen facility anymore. The social hall and the kitchen facility didn't come about until 2012, I believe. So we had some downtime with how we operated. Where the social hall is now is just an open field. We were able to acquire a couple of pieces of property to be able to do what we have there presently. But like I said, it was just an open field with tents, and we used to shuttle the food from Maple Street, from John's little pizza house up there, and it's become a major event for us.
Anyone who's tuning in, is there a particular date that is a little slower than others that you might say, we need people to show up on Friday, or it's busy the whole way through?
Well, I think, Friday is
Or
a
if you're
little...
trying to beat a line too, any suggestions on how to beat a
How
line?
to beat the line.
No?
No.
Get there a half hour before we open.
The line, it's amazing. A half an hour before we actually open, there are people standing in line already.
Yeah.
But part of the fun is going with your friends and family, and the time flies by. You're
Yeah.
with friends, you're with people you know, and you just chat for a bit, and before you know it, you've got the food you've been waiting for, and you get to savor it together with the community. It's a
That's it.
great time.
And this is something new too, the Friday night. This is the second year. Last year was the first year. We used to do it Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And that was mainly because John was closed for the weekend. Now that we have the hall, and it took a while to convince a lot of people, because, Labor Day, people have family cookouts and kids are back to school and going back to college and whatever. And then, most of the communities do Friday night. It's nothing new. However, it's new for us. And we just want to make sure that people understand that it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and not Monday.
Fantastic.
Monday's a pickup day.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Marlborough Minute. I am reinvigorated to go and visit the Greek Festival again this year. It's always a fantastic time, and you can't beat the food. You can't beat the company. Oh, one last thing. Any activities for the kids, for the young ones?
Yeah, we have a bouncy house. We have a rock climbing type thing for the kids. Sand art.
Something
we have
for
a few.
everyone,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Something for the whole
Girls
family.
doing face painting and
Yeah,
keep the kids active. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and we got food for the kids too. I mean,
You have their natural burgers and dogs,
Oh.
for the kids, and soda,
Wonderful.
so whatever they like.
Great. So like I said, something for everyone at the Greek Festival. You're not going to want to miss it. All the details are right here on the screen. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Marlborough Minute. I'm Ryan Malyar. Hey, and if you're a Marlborough resident or a nonprofit and you have a story to share or an event to promote, please be in touch. I'd love to have you on the show, sitting right here in the hot seat. Thanks for watching, and take care.